Good Monday morning, Oswego, and welcome to Top in the Morning. Thanks for waking up with us. Today is March 24th, 2014. I'm Megan Roberts. Coming up this morning, a drunk driver who killed his cousin in a crash is due back in court today. Also, a popular fundraiser for cancer is making its way back to Oswego later this month, and a family from Liverpool broke 6 Guinness World Records, all for a good cause. We'll have all this and more coming up, but first, a quick check of your weather to get you out the door with meteorologist Jack Tieber. Good morning, Jack.
Good morning, Megan, and thanks a lot. Good morning to you. I'm meteorologist Jack Tieber. Thanks for joining us. Let's take a look at our day planner this morning. You can see we're dealing with some light snow this morning, 14 to start out. By lunchtime, we're at 21 under mostly cloudy skies, and then our high today, 23. That's the big story that we're talking about today. And then by 5 o'clock, we'll still see some clouds remaining, but we're not going to count out some sunshine. I can see some sunshine coming through the window right now, actually. We'll talk about that in a second. But what we're dealing with today is an area of high pressure that's going to be going over, it's taking a northwesterly flow over Lake Ontario right now, so that's making it feel way more like January than the last week of March. I'm sure we can all, we're all looking forward to those nice spring-like temperatures. That's going to be coming soon. We'll talk about that later on. But otherwise, the 3-day forecast for today, we'll be seeing a mix of sun and clouds today with some flurries around 23 for the high. Tuesday, tomorrow's looking like a pretty nice day, a little bit warmer with a high of 30. Tuesday night, we'll start to see some light snow activity move in, and Wednesday, a mix of flurries with a high of 28. We're looking at some warmer temperatures for the end of the week. We'll talk about that coming up in about 10 minutes. Send it back to Meg.
Thanks, Jack. A Clay driver involved in a fatal car crash is due back in court today after his sentencing was delayed earlier this month by weather. Glenwood Carr pleaded guilty to vehicular manslaughter in the August 11th car crash that killed his passenger and cousin, Stephen Sears. The sentencing was originally scheduled for March 12th. Sears' daughter, Cassandra, wanted to read a statement at the sentencing, but was unable to leave her house at the time due to the snow. Judge Thomas J. Miller delayed Carr's sentencing until today. Carr flipped his Audi while drunk and speeding, then fled the scene, leaving Stephen Sears to die. Carr will be sentenced to 12 years in prison. Federal agents have arrested a Solvay man after linking him to a package carrying 4 pounds of marijuana. U.S. Postal inspectors intercepted the suspicious package Wednesday at the Taft Road Postal Office. The package was addressed to KB Clothes in Solvay, however, the return address was fake. Investigators traced the Solvay address to Kevin Burnside, who appears to have separate felony convictions for manslaughter. A website shows that Burnside was convicted of manslaughter in 1980 in New York City. However, there have been no records found regarding the manslaughter charges. Burnside will appear in federal court Tuesday. Well, Syracuse firefighters battled a powerful fire last night at 822 Butternut Street. The fire was in a vacant home, but neighbors say the fire started 5 years ago. Neighbors say the previous fire was a small kitchen blaze, but forced the occupants out of the home. That fire left one of the occupants with first and second degree burns after they tried to remove a pot of flaming grease from the stove. The home has been vacant ever since. The Oswego County Legislature has proclaimed March as St. Baldrick's Month in the county. The St. Baldrick's Foundation works to raise awareness and funding to support childhood cancer research. More than 170 Oswego County men, women, and children have volunteered to have their heads shaved and raise money to support the cause. This year's fundraiser will be held at the Lake Ontario Conference and Event Center on March 30th. Last year, their efforts brought in more than $93,000. This year, the goal has been set at $100,000. Liverpool gym owner Bob Natoli, his son Bobby Natoli, and his son-in-law David Burdone broke 6 Guinness World Records in fitness on Saturday. The event raised money for a Liverpool family that was involved in a tragic car accident last November. The money raised will go to the Patterson family. The Pattersons were involved in a head-on crash in November when a drugged driver swerved into their lane, killing wife and mother of 3, Megan Patterson. To make a donation, visit the Support the Patterson Family fundraising page. We are going to take a quick break, but first take a look at what happened on this day in history.
G-Morning, sunshine. Wakey, wakey. Text me back. Hey, did you tell your parents about us? Let's skip first period together. Did you get all my texts? Is practice over yet? Where are you at? Are you with your friends? That's L-A-A-A-A-M-M-E-E-E. Capital X, lowercase o, capital X, lowercase o.
I love you. JK. I hate you. JK.
Are you ignoring me?
We're in a huge fight right now.
Is this something I did?
I can see your lights on. I'm coming
This
over.
isn't a
What'd you
joke.
dream about?
Me?
I'm lonely. Holla back.
Holla back.
Let's try something new. Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
Good Monday morning and welcome back. So Jack, it just seems like winter is not going away without a fight.
Yeah. I hate to say I'm a little depressed because it is really, really cold outside this morning. 20 degrees below normal for this time of the year. Isn't that just nuts?
It is nuts. I would expect, at least 40s, at least 40s.
That's what we would normally be this time of the year. But anyway, with that said, we did have a pretty nice sunrise this morning. So let's take a look at that sunrise. You can see right there. I think that's looking over close to the high school, I believe. But regardless of that fact, it was a very nice morning this morning, and we can start to see some sun coming through the window right now in our studios. But it's going to be off and on throughout the day because we're going to be dealing with some flurries as the day goes on. You can see on the radar right now, we're dealing with some light lake effect bands coming over Lake Ontario right now. You can see from just to the west of Oswego down toward Fulton, then down to our south toward Binghamton and over the Finger Lakes. And then off to the west, they're dealing with some lake effect snow activity as well. Now you can see on the regional satellite right now, we got some cloud cover over the region. That's because the wind that's coming from the north is going over the lake, but you can see some breaks in that. So that's why we're going to be seeing some light bands of lake effect today with some sunshine mixed in. So you can sort of see that going on for today. Now the big story is the temperature. Like I said, 20 degrees below normal for this time of the year. Look at that, 14 in Albany, 12 in Glens Falls, 6 up in Plattsburgh, and the same in Watertown, 13 right now in Syracuse. So it's a very cold day. It's feeling more like January as we're dealing with this area of high pressure. It's moving a nice big batch of air from the north, from Canada, over the lake. It's cold air, and that's what's given us these lake effect snow bands for today. Now, putting the timecast into motion, you're going to be seeing that centered mainly to the south, that lake effect snow activity. And we'll start to get a little bigger around 2 o'clock. Here in Oswego, though, we could be seeing some flurries, and then, like I said, with some sunshine mixed in as well. As we get into the 5 o'clock hour, you can start to see it's starting to move a little more westerly. That's because the winds are going to start shifting. And then by about 11 o'clock tonight, we'll see this nice lake effect band setting up over the Tug Hill region, and that could give us some flurries overnight as well, just light flurries at most. So today we're going to be dealing, again, a few flurries, very cold, 23 for the high, mix of sun and clouds throughout the day. And then by tonight, light snow as that snow starts to shift westerly with a low of 11. Now, midweek, we're dealing with this next storm system, a nor'easter that's going to be coming through. Luckily, though, and this is your good news for today, we're not going to be dealing with that here in central New York because that's going to be mainly centered to the New England coastline toward Boston. And you can see here, they're going to be dealing with 6 to 12 inches of snow along the coast. We could be seeing some flurries from that, but the majority of that is going to be far away from us, thankfully. So 5-day forecast. Tomorrow's going to be a nice day, a little bit warmer, still cold, 30 for the high. Tuesday night, we'll start to see some flurries setting into Wednesday. By Thursday, we're at a high 39 with some sunshine, and then by Friday, look at that, 49 with some showers. We'll send it back to Megan.
Thanks, Jack. Well, if the weather is depressing you this morning, this will surely make you happy. A family in Texas was stunned on Thursday when a surprise visitor showed up during a Little League game. Jennifer Bauer was there.
4 unsuspecting kids about to get the surprise of a lifetime. It's just an ordinary Thursday in Richmond at the Lamar Little League field, or so they thought.
Hey, Connor.
Their dad, Army Captain Ed Maxup, has been gone for a year. His kids weren't expecting to see him. The father of 4 just completed his second tour in Afghanistan. Now, he's home for a while.
What did you miss the most?
The family, definitely. Absolutely, the family.
His kids, 8-year-old Paige, 7-year-old Corbin, 3-year-old Colin, and 18-month-old Brenner, kept in touch through Skype
They told
and
me it
phone
was an
calls,
elephant.
but it doesn't compare to this.
Oh, I was talking.
I'm staying, bud. I'm home.
I'm so happy.
His wife of almost 10 years is happy too. She's been playing mom and dad for the last 12 months.
My family and my friends have been amazing during this time, and I could not have gone through it without them. It was a hard year, but I'm so proud of him, and I'm so glad he's home.
The mystery that has captivated the world's attention is getting some leads. An Australian aircraft searching for the missing Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 has spotted 2 objects that could be retrieved by a naval vessel in the coming hours. These objects are separate from suspicious objects reported earlier today by a Chinese military plane that was involved in the search efforts in the same region. Although these findings are a promising step in locating the missing airplane, none of the sighted objects have so far been firmly linked to Flight 370. A Siena College poll out this morning shows Governor Andrew Cuomo has a significant lead over the only Republican so far in the race. However, it's not all good news for the governor. The governor's job performance rating has declined since last fall. Governor Cuomo's job performance rating has dropped to 46%, down from 48% last month. Those polled said things have gotten worse when it comes to both quality of public education and the economic well-being of most New Yorkers. The poll also showed that majority of New Yorkers support Governor Cuomo's controversial SAFE Act enforcing stricter gun control laws. Also, 47% of New Yorkers support legalizing medical marijuana. The president starts his overseas trip at a nuclear summit at The Hague, but some of his attention will be turned to Ukraine as he meets with international leaders. Military brass says it's worrisome that Russian troops are gathered along Ukraine's border. Andrew Spencer reports.
President Barack Obama arrived in the Netherlands this morning for the first day of a 5-day trip overseas. It comes after his announcement last week of 2 rounds of sanctions against Russia. The Obama administration now says those measures are working.
We had the finance minister of Russia worrying out loud in public about the hit that the economy was taking. We had the leader of the Association of Entrepreneurs, basically the oligarchs club, saying, I'm really worried about investment drying up.
Much of the president's trip was originally focused on nuclear security, with a World Forum at The Hague and a meeting with G7 leaders on Monday.
And what we've seen the president do in recent weeks and what we'll see him do this week is bring the world together in support of Ukraine, to isolate Russia for its actions in Ukraine, and to reassure our partners and allies in NATO and in Europe.
The controversial annexation of Crimea was highlighted this weekend as the Ukrainian naval insignia was removed from the country's only submarine, taken down by Russian naval officers. Officials now call it worrisome that troops massed along Ukraine's eastern border may be poised for a move at the pro-Russia Transnistrian region, a breakaway of the former Soviet Republic of Moldova. After Obama stops at The Hague and in Brussels this week, he'll have his first ever meeting with Pope Francis on Thursday. He ends the week with a stop meant to bolster strained U.S. relations with Saudi Arabia. I'm Andrew Spencer reporting.
Okay, we are just coming up on 8:45 on your Monday morning. Coming up after the break, we'll have Adam Rubsick here with all your latest entertainment news and another look at your forecast. Stay with us. You're watching Pop in the Morning.
Hey guys, this is my teenage friend Fred.
Rad! Hey pal, you want to pay attention to the road?
Relax man, I got it.
Look, my man, if your bad driving gets me killed, you better hope you die too, or I will haunt you silly. And I'm not just gonna float over your bed like, woo! I'm gonna be making a more annoying noise, like, ah! And instead of wearing those long white robes, I think I'll wear something more form-fitting and upsetting. The other ghosts will look and be like, wow, we've never seen that before.
Hi, I'm CNN's Rob Marciano, and you're watching WTOP 10. your television station.
Underneath everything we are, underneath everything we do, we are all people, connected, interdependent, united. And when we reach out a hand to one, we can influence the condition of all. That's what it means to live united.
Good morning. I'm meteorologist Jack Tieber. Thanks for joining us this morning. Some sunshine as you head out the door this morning, but it could be off and on throughout the day. Let's take a look at your day planner. We'll start off with some light snow this morning, 14 to start out, but that light snow could continue out throughout the day. Otherwise, we're dealing with mostly cloudy skies throughout much of the day. Officially 23 degrees for the high today. Now let's take a look at the regional radar. You can see some lake effect bands coming off of Lake Ontario right now. We're seeing some spotty snow showers coming down toward Fulton and then down to the south over the Finger Lakes toward Binghamton. We also have some off to the west. Now taking a look at the satellite right now, you can see the cloud cover. We're dealing with some cooler air coming over the lake, Lake Ontario right now, and that's what's giving us those clouds as well as those lake effect bands. But you can see breaks in those clouds, which is why we'll be seeing some sun off and on throughout the day today. Now the big story is the temperature. We're dealing with temperatures 20 degrees below normal for this time of the year. I know last week of March, I'm ready for warmer temperatures, and we might be seeing that pretty soon. I'll talk about that in just a second. But for now, it's 16 in Albany, 10 up in Plattsburgh, 12 in Watertown, and 16 in Syracuse right now. So it's a very cold morning. Going to want to dress appropriately for today, for sure. Now we're dealing with this area of high pressure, and what's causing this cooler airs. It's this northwesterly wind bringing down much cooler air from Canada. It's making it feel much more like January. So again, that's what we're going to be dealing with today, much cooler temperatures. Now putting the maps into motion, timecast 11 a.m. As that wind moves over the lake, we'll be setting up some lake effect bands, mainly centered around Syracuse, and that'll start to increase a little more around 2 p.m. I don't want to rule out a possible flurry here in Oswego as well. But by 5 o'clock, that's going to start to shift more to the west. And then by 11 o'clock this evening, you can see that nice steady band of lake effect snow going over the Tug Hill region. They could get a couple of inches overnight. And for us, we could be getting some flurries. So moving ahead to today, again, a few flurries, very cold, 23 for the high. As that snow moves through in those different bands, we could be seeing some sunshine as well. You can see some sun pouring through our window right now. Tonight, we have some light snow. It's going to be moving through with a low of 11. Now, again, the big story that we're going to be dealing with midweek is this nor'easter that's going to be moving through. Luckily for us, though, we're not going to be dealing with any of that snow as it moves through. Could be bringing 6 to 12 inches for parts of the New England coastline. We'll be keeping an eye on that storm. But again, we could just be seeing a few flurries on the tail end of that storm. So for Tuesday, tomorrow, pretty nice day, a little bit warmer, still cold though, high of 30. Tuesday night, some flurries roll in. Wednesday, we'll be dealing with some flurries during the day, high 28. And then Thursday going into Friday, you can see it get a little bit nicer on Thursday, going into 40 degrees. And then by Friday, some showers, and we're up to 49. We're all looking forward to that. Time is 8:50. Let's send it back over to Megan.
Thank you, Jack. And now we will find out what's going on in entertainment with Adam Rubsick. Adam?
Thank you, Megan, and good morning. Ellen DeGeneres may have some competition in the selfie department. This is no Oscar-filled nominee snap, mind you, but Jimmy Kimmel's presidential selfie is pretty epic all in the same. The funny man was on hand to interview former First Family during a closing session at the Clinton Global Initiative University in Tempe, Arizona. It didn't break the retweet record like Ellen's did, but Kimmel's gave it a good run, as he tweeted, "No Bradley Cooper, but 3 Clintons and a Kimmel." With just 22 days to go until the Tribeca Film Festival, there's been a major internal shakeup. Robert De Niro has sold 50% of Tribeca Enterprises, the company he co-founded and the presenter of the Tribeca Film Festival, to Madison Square Garden Company, valuing Tribeca Enterprises at $45 million. The deal fuses 2 of America's most prominent businesses, with Tribeca obtaining marketing and power that comes with the growing sports and entertainment industry as MSG gets useful entry into the lucrative business of movies. And what would another entertainment segment be without some Kim and Kanye drama? The new couple has dropped the blog again as a recently controversy with the cover of Vogue magazine. The social media world has not been kind to the idea, with heads of the fashion world tweeting out their disgust to the cover being released, some even saying they're canceling their subscription. The spoofs are hot as well, with photoshops of Kermit and Piggy and Seth Rogen and James Franco replacing the faces of the Kim-Ye couple. And lastly, the NCAA March Madness bracket is in full swing, with the Sweet 16 has been decided. With a full bracket of upsets and surprises, there are many new faces in the round of 16. In the South bracket, top seed Florida will play UCLA, and Dayton will take on Stanford. In the East, Virginia plays Michigan State, and Iowa State plays UConn. Over in the Mid-East, Kentucky will take on defending champ Louisville, and Tennessee faces Michigan. And in the West, Arizona plays San Diego State, and Baylor takes on Wisconsin. The Sweet 16 games will start Thursday.
Now, Adam, I know that everybody's brackets pretty much blew up when Duke and Syracuse lost. They are now out of it. Did your bracket blow up?
Oh, it's not good. It's not good at all. But hey, everyone's isn't good, so everyone has a chance, I guess.
I thought Syracuse was going to win it. Who did you have?
I had Duke.
So neither of them are going to win it.
Nope. I guess we're both out.
What do you think of the of MSG becoming a part of the entertainment world? And I think MSG, I think sports, and now we think movies as well.
Yeah, it's very big for them because they have such a prominent name in the sports industry. Now they're moving into more movies with Robert De Niro. That's big for MSG.
It's a big deal. All right, well, thank you, Adam. We need to take one last break, and when we come back, we'll have a final look at your forecast. But first, take a look at what celebs are celebrating their birthday today. Stay with us. You're watching Top in the Morning.
Everyone has friends. There's online friends, friends to go out with on a Saturday night, friends to hang out with and do nothing, friends who show up on moving day. And then there are the friends who'll be there if someone is dealing with a mental illness. Are you one of those friends?
Teaching a kid football is one thing. Keeping a kid in school, that's the name of my game. My name is LaDainian Thomason. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Good morning and welcome back. A trio of elephants ran away from the circus Saturday afternoon in St. Charles, Missouri. They might have been spooked by a boisterous crowd and bolted out of a door and into a nearby parking lot. Stephanie Diffin takes us there and shows us what elephants look like when they're on the lam.
Here comes one.
Elephants escape the circus. If you can't believe the headline, here's the video to prove it, captured by Allie Tunnicliffe.
We saw the other people running and we were like, oh my God, they're escaping. Like, what's going on?
I called my husband and he's like, I'm like, Tom, the elephants are escaping, they're running down front. He's like, get in the car.
So Karen and Allie got back in the car and started recording. They estimate it took around 45 minutes for several trainers to corral the 3 elephants between 2 trailers.
And she yelled to one guy, I need anything, just pretzels, any kind of food.
You could tell they were so upset, like, oh my gosh, our animals are, you know, running down. They were so upset and scared.
No one was hurt, but the animals did do damage to several vehicles. Witnesses who were inside the arena for the Shriner Circus say the crowd was yelling when the animals got spooked, busting out the doors.
They were so afraid, and the people were trying to calm them, and, you know, they were trying to get everybody back.
After the animals were safely back in their trailer, the crowd was free to leave. Allie and Karen decided to stay as planned.
So it didn't scare you away?
Nope. And in true circus fashion, the second show of the night did go on.
Jack, could you imagine? I mean, I've heard of bears getting loose and roaming around or just coming out of the woods and being in like people's backyards, but elephants?
Yeah, that would be kind of scary.
Yeah.
That would be very scary. Can you imagine just standing there and be like, oh, hey, there's this giant elephant.
I mean, I saw that they damaged some of the cars, but how could you be upset? I mean, elephants.
Elephants are
crazy.
cute.
To say that your car was damaged by an elephant is pretty.
Yeah, you know what? That would make a really good story.
Right. So you can't really be upset.
50 years down the road, say, back in my day, I
Right.
had an elephant run into my car or something like that.
Well, you can't really be upset about the elephants, but you can be upset that there is no warmth in our forecast. We're just cold.
Yeah. Well, there is later on into the week. By Friday, we're looking at close to 50 degrees, which will be pretty nice. But for today, though, we're dealing with temps well below normal for this time of the year. We're starting out 14 degrees. We'll have some light snow throughout the day. Otherwise, mostly cloudy throughout much of the day, and officially the high 23. So we're going to be dealing with, like I said, some sun off and on throughout the day. You can see some sun going through the window right now, which is nice. But other than that, like I said, by Friday, it's going to start to warm up close to 50 on Friday.
All right, well, hopefully that'll stick around.
Hopefully.
I'm ready for April to be here and for some sun.
I know.
And hopefully some trees will start growing their leaves back, and we'll see.
I know, I know. I woke up this morning, went out to the car, and saw frost build up on my window. Had to sit there for about 5 minutes, let it warm up. My car doesn't like the cold very much, so, and neither do I.
Now, Jack, another thing that has people upset, any basketball fans or anybody involved in a bracket at all, we just went over this with Adam.
Yeah.
How's your bracket looking?
Terrible. I had Cuse and Duke in the national championship game. Obviously, that's
not going
done.
to happen.
That's not going to happen. Yeah, it was a little sad watching Syracuse lose over the weekend, but hey, they had a great season and went 25-0.
Yeah.
They did a great job throughout really the entire season. But can't win them all.
So with the teams left, who do you think could take it?
I don't know. I'm thinking the underdogs. I think Dayton could probably go pretty
I like the underdog story.
And
so
I thought about that when I filled out my bracket. I'm like, I'm just going to do all the underdogs and just see what happens.
So.
I should have done that. Probably would have won the money. Because I'm doing a bet with some friends, so.
Oh, nice. I don't follow it closely, but I'm excited to see who it will be since it's kind of up in the air at this point.
Yeah.
But for spring break, we just came back from spring break, and all of us are back in the cold weather. But how was your spring break?
It was pretty good. I hung around Syracuse for most of the time, but I know you went to Florida, so that was.
Yes, and came back to the snow.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe it. So that will do it for us here this morning. For the entire 10 News team, I'm Megan Roberts.
I'm Jack Tieber.
Have a great Monday morning, Oswego.